Hey folks, this is Shadow Stars coming at you with another video. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays everyone. Didn't really plan on making a video, but ended up deciding to after I came across this. I'm going to be changing things up a little bit and I'll be covering this person I found on Twitter called Ryan Williams. And it's just the logic or the lack of logic and reasoning within these apes, these people who support AMC. It's just absolutely ridiculous and it needs to be called out. So hopefully I can keep this short. So this guy, Ryan Williams 629 on Twitter. So he has this post. Post 1 of 2. Knowledge is power. For those willing to understand many of the details as to why I am voting yes on all three of AA's proposals, put your reading glasses on. So part 1. Okay. So he talks about the whole concept of shares. 1,000 shares for $10, you spend $10,000. Obviously, if you held that prior to the ape dividend, okay, then you would have additional shares of ape. So you'd have 2,000 shares, and hey, if it's $5 per share, yes, the ape dividend didn't really change the value of your investment. Only when both value of the stocks went down did your overall investment value go down. So now he talks about the reverse split of you'd get 1 share for every 10. Talk about the conversion of ape into AMC. So far, fine. This is correct. Nothing crazy. Part 2, talking about the conversion. So same thing. AA's Adam Aaron has already said it's going to be a 1-to-1 conversion. So all this so far is correct. If you have 100 AMC shares of common stock Class A shares, and you have 200 APE, after the conversion, you should have 300 shares of this new AMC ticker. Yes, you get the new CUSIP number issued, yada, yada, yada. Okay, once again, talk about the reverse split, which reduces the float. Obviously also reduces the total outstanding. Does the calculations. Okay, so all this stuff so far mostly agree with, if not all of it. This part is the crazy one, starting from here. So he says, with both steps 1 and 2 completed above and a new share price of 50, so whatever, if you say the combined price of AMC and APE, whatever, $5, do a 10-to-1, goes up to 50. AA must act fast and release approximately 100 million shares to completely pay off the debt. So, okay, I understand the math of, hey, 100 million shares, $50 per share, you get rid of your $5 billion debt. I understand that part. But what I don't understand is this section here. Why are they going to sell 100 million shares? See, this is where the logic of apes absolutely crumble down. So here, I'm going to pull up a brief calculation here. Remember, 516 million shares of Class A common stock for AMC. You had that 516 million same amount because for every 1 share of AMC, you had 1 share of APE. Remember, on the recent press release on the 19th, so far, they've sold 125.9 million shares of APE through their at-the-market program. And recently, the deal with Antara Capital, 60 million shares of APE in their first tranche via their at-the-market program. Remember, second tranche sold to Antara Capital, 106.6 million. And remember, about approximately 91 million shares of APE would be given to Antara Capital for the debt to equity exchange, $100 million second lien note. Do a quick sum, Antara Capital would have 257.6 million shares of APE. You do the sum of this value, you get 1.4 billion shares of AMC plus APE outstanding. 257 divided by this, you get 18%. So they will own 18% after this whole deal goes through. Now another thing, when you do that reverse split, you have 1.4 billion shares. Every 10 shares will now go to 1, equal to 1. That means 141 million shares outstanding. and suddenly you're going to authorize 100 million shares? You're going to add 100 million shares. That's really what you're going to do? So what happens, folks? 147 plus 100 million. What do you get? Your total outstanding is now 241 million. Who is going to buy 100 million shares? So you want to do the math? 100 million out of this new outstanding. Who's going to buy 41% of the company? Absolutely insane. Where does your logic stem from? Do you have any evidence to back up the fact that someone's going to be buying 41% of a company? Makes absolutely no sense. So let's go to part 5. Keep in mind, we do not know if after the capital is raised, he could very well propose a stock split. Okay, so they just proposed to do a reverse stock split, and then what? Oh, there's a possibility they'll do a regular stock split after that? Soon? What? It makes no sense. And then some of these comments, some of the theories that's going around. Why should we cut Hedgie's AMC debt by 90% for free? See, this type of reasoning, this type of answers, it just clearly demonstrates a lot of the folks that are invested in this company obviously never passed middle school math. They have no clue of basic arithmetic, essentially. Basic algebra. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Hedge funds will short this down to $5. Hedgies can't let the market cap of company dip that low. Once again, they don't understand. People don't seem to understand how is market cap calculated. If you understood some of these basic concepts of trading, if you knew some of this information, that would give you warning signals as to what to invest in and what not to invest in. But because you don't have that even basic foundation of knowledge, yeah, you happen to invest in a company that has absolutely poor financials. You want to know what? I'll pull up my updated financial little sheet here. So what I have here is Q1, Q2, Q3, and I have a modeling of Q4. I've done basic calculations, modeling, showing that, hey, what could be the potential revenue going for Q4, operating costs, what their net profit or net loss is going to be for the quarter. And then based on some of the news, I can calculate approximately how much cash on hand they'll have at the end of the quarter. This is the figure I came out with, 690 million. That's after considering all these. So that initial forward purchase of APE by Antara, forward purchase, the initial APE purchase, the at the market program, total sell, the debt payment that they made on the 10% second lien debt, and some of the debt that they bought for the 6.6% senior notes due in 2027. And remember, what is the average cash burn rate? If this continues through, average cash burn rate is more than, it's 162 million per quarter. If these numbers hold true, so if this number holds true, this column N, which I did calculations for, they'll have burned over $900 million within a year. $900 million. You continue this cash burn rate, how many quarters left do you have? But you know what? I did a best case scenario. What if the calculation goes, hey, they'll continue their performance at Q2. So when you had the big box office hits, when you had the Top Gun come out, you had a net loss of 121 million. So what if you repeat Q2's performance, which is the best quarter of 2022 and post-pandemic, for every quarter for next year? you're still burning money. You get down to 106 million in liquidity. This is not including the 100 million that so you add 100 million because they have that debt covenant that they need to follow by, which states that you need a minimum liquidity of $100 million. So what does this mean? If they can't even perform to quarter 2 2022's figures, more dilution is coming. So yeah, your whole point of what? Need to sell shares? Yeah, it needs to occur. Are they going to sell 1 million of it though? There's no way they're going to sell 100 million at $50. Absolutely insane. If they only have 141 million, they're going to sell 41% more of it? Who's going to be buying it all, especially at that $50 price point? No one. No one's going to be overpaying for that. Even the folks at Antera, they bought a lot of their shares, what, 66 cents? Pennies on the dollar. They're buying at a massive discount. They're not going to be, people aren't going to be overpaying it, buying 41% of the company. It's absolutely insane. It's these folks, these apes. No logic. Because, in part, they don't look at the financials. They don't understand any of this. They don't look at it. They go off of these absolute grifters and frauds and people spreading misinformation, leaving out information on Twitter, on Reddit, on YouTube. And no one's correcting them. Look, this guy's followed by Adam Aaron. It's an absolute shame. But yeah, this is my quick video. Just calling this guy out. Absolute fraud. Enjoy the rest of your holidays, folks. Until next time, Shadow Stars.